Shohei goes huge again. Hey, records are made to be broken, aren't they? Dodgers secure a 12th playoff spot. The Dodgers getting ready for the Padres series in a couple more days. And the state of the blue. How are the Dodgers doing with just 8 games left? We'll get into that. Also, show stats for Dodgers Digest. We'll break that down too as well. I'm Brad J. This is Dodgers Digest. Welcome to your Saturday. Let's get right into it. Shohei goes huge again. You would think that once he got to 51 home runs, 51 stolen bases, he would be done. He doesn't need to continue this, but he goes big and gets the 52nd home run. So he now sits at 52 and 52. 52 home runs, 52 stolen bases. Keeps breaking records every single day. Let's put that in a little bit of context, shall we? All right, so not last night's game. Let's take it back to the game before that, the big game, the 3-homer game. It was the first 3-homer game in Major League Baseball history where the player also had multiple stolen bases. So when you combine these and say, the home runs and the stolen bases, sure, Shawn Green for the Dodgers in 2001 had a 4-home run game against Milwaukee. He did that, right? Still didn't have as many RBIs and didn't have any stolen bases. Shawn Green didn't steal a lot of bases anyways. Well, Ohtani was the first player since 1901 with at least 5 hits, multiple homers, and multiple stolen bases. That one was true before he even hit his 3rd home run because he'd already stolen the bases and he'd already had 2 home runs. So it was already historic for that man right there. So no matter what he was doing, he was already breaking rules and breaking records each thing he did. It's crazy. All right, so think again. Now, let's dive a little deeper into this, shall we? Okay, think again. 3 home runs and 2 stolen bases later. Ohtani put together the best single game individual performance we have ever seen. Now, this is considering the circumstances and what was at stake. And did I also mention the Dodgers needed to win to clinch a postseason berth? You see? So when you look at and when you take it and you dissect it and take it apart, think about it. What was on the line, right? It wasn't just an individual performance without anything else. It was an individual performance where he locked in the 50-50, which has never been done. It's been the holy grail of baseball, right? And he gets that. So you think about the circumstances leading up to it. So anyone can have a game, right? When Shawn Green had that game in Milwaukee with the 4 home runs, he was having a game. But it wasn't all on the line for Shawn to be 50-50. None of that stuff. Clinching a postseason berth. That's why it becomes even more critical and even more important that what he did when you look at the individual performance. Because the individual performance by itself, you could look at that all day long and say, wow, that's awesome. That's one of the best days in baseball ever. I mean, guys have had 12 RBIs before, but 10, that's probably the best one ever. But think about what was on the line. That's the thing. What was on the line? All right. So here's another note here on this whole thing. And, I know there's been another game since this, but you can't stop talking about this. As noted, Ohtani knocked in 10 runs. It's the 16th 10 RBI game since RBIs became official, and the first at the hands of the Dodgers, as well as the first from the leadoff spot. See, this has never happened from a leadoff position because leadoff guys traditionally don't hit home runs. I mean, they do, but they don't hit a lot of home runs. You don't have your leadoff guy as a home run hitter, but you have Ohtani. The previous 15 players to do so combined for, get this, Zilcho, 0 stolen bases in those games. Ohtani had 2. So there you go right there. If you really kind of break it down and look at it that way, you look what was on the line, it means a heck of a lot more than that. All right, time for one of my favorite parts of the show. It is the show, the quest for MLB's first 50-50 season. Well, that quest is done, son. That thing is over. Stick a fork in it, all right? Shohei's already done it. He's now, 52. So 52 home runs, 52 stolen bases. Wouldn't it be nice for him to get to 55-55? Maybe Sammy Hagar could come out and present him with a golden bat or something like that. But 55-55 is what I'd like to see him get to. And that's 3 of each, all right? Records are made to be broken. You can do 3 home runs. You can do 3 stolen bases. Look, he just did 4 home runs in 2 games. Yeah, I don't think that's a stretch to ask him. And he's seeing the ball. In fact, one of those home runs was the second highest home run ball he's ever hit. Nearly 4 feet above home plate, he connected with a home run ball. Think about 4 feet. Think about trying to get a bat around to something that high off the ground. And he just crushes it like there's no tomorrow. There's never been another baseball player like him. There has never. And will there ever? I mean, I don't think so. He's going to go down in history as the best baseball player ever to play the game. I mean, the Bambino, we love Babe Ruth. Don't get me wrong. But what Shohei has been doing is a whole nother thing that's been going on. But let me tell you this about Shohei. You've enjoyed seeing him steal bases this year, haven't you, right? It's been a lot of fun, right? Look at, he's stolen 52 bases so far. Mark Brad Jay's words, next year, he's not even going to steal half of those bases. I guarantee it. And you're like, well, why? He's got the skills. Because, hello, McFly, he's pitching next year. Do you think the Dodgers want him running around the bases all willy-nilly? No, they definitely don't. You can break a hand that way. There's a lot going on. So what you witnessed this year, keep this in the memory banks because you witnessed history, and there's never going to be anything like this again because Shohei's never going to steal that many bases ever again. This is it. This year is absolutely it when it comes to it. You're not going to see it because you're not taking the chances. And if you think I'm wrong on that, wait till next season. You'll see. When he starts pitching, he's not going to be running willy-nilly around them bases. Believe you me. Because his pitching, as we found out this year, starting pitching is very freaking important. And we need him. So we're going to need him pitching. Which brings me to one more thing about Shohei before I stop talking about Shohei, is pitching. Don't you remember, now just listen to me for a second here. Don't you remember when the Dodgers, everything he did regarding pitching this season, like, oh, he threw for the mound. Oh, he was in the bullpen. Oh, he stepped to the mound for the first time. Like everything. Oh, here's what he's going to do. He's going to face live hitters, and then he's going to shut down for next year. They gave us a little bit of information every single day regarding Shohei and pitching. And then all of a sudden, when people started catching on, like myself, Bill Plaschke from LA Times, started saying, well, wait a minute. Is there a possibility you might use him in the postseason? It has been radio silence regarding that at all. There's been no update what he's done towards his pitching whatsoever. Like by now, he was supposed to be facing some live hitters. And about last week or so, we were supposed to have an update of what he was doing on the mound then. And we never got that either. So I think, here's my thoughts. Dodgers are being hush-hush because they don't want any other teams to think about them possibly using him. And believe me, if they need him to get 3 outs and maybe not be a starting pitcher, they're going to use him. They are definitely going to use him. All right, let's talk the rest of the schedule. Here we go. This is it, man. Down to the wire. And I said this. When we were down 2 games against Atlanta. I said the Dodgers have got to win the next 2 to even the series out because it comes back to series wins is what you want. And if you can't get a series wins, you want a series tie. It's in that order. You want the series win first. So Dodgers now have did that in Miami, took a loss, came back strong, took 2 big wins, 2 out of 3. That's what you want to do. Took the first one against Colorado at Chavez Ravine. Got another one tonight there. You need to take that game because the Padres are playing Chicago White Sox, I'm pretty sure, and they're beating up on them. And I don't see the Padres losing to the White Sox. So Dodgers losing to Colorado would not be good. So if you're the Dodgers right now, send a freaking message and win. Sweep Colorado. 2 more games to go. You got Buehler on the mound. And the good thing about it is no one's been talking about Buehler right now. Have you noticed that? Nobody has been talking about Buehler. Why? Because Shohei's taking all the news. So Buehler is able to kind of go under the radar, prepare. He had a great game. The last game, he's trying to earn a spot in the postseason. He might have just did that with the last. But if he comes out and pitches strong here against Colorado, you've got to think and has a good game that he's going to secure himself. So a very important game for That man right there. So Buehler against Quantrill. That's the deal. And you see Buehler's ERA, 5.54. I mean, and the 1.5, that scares the heck out of you, but it's his last 2 games that have been good. So we're going to count on him being good as he comes in and does it. So, all right. Also, before we go, I want to shout out the show. The show's been crushing it here. Show stats, 744 subscriptions. We're trying to take that to 1,000 before the end of the season. Shooting for that 1,000. 48,000 views. We had like 35 or 40 ads just in one day. So appreciate that. Stay locked in. Mike Nelson here and Brad J. We're covering it. We're giving you all the stories, and we're breaking them down for you. Okay. Last thing I want to do here before we go is the international vibe that Dodgers Digest is putting off. Take a look at this. I was doing a little analytics search the other day here, just yesterday. Top geographies for Dodgers Digest. 61.8% the USA. Red, white, and blue. Boom, right there. But look at this. Japan coming in strong. 10.8%. Japan in that number 2 spot. I'm watching it over there, Dodgers Digest. They dig us. We're big over there. It's like Hasselhoff is big in Germany, big in Japan. Philippines, 3%, 2.8. Canada, don't you know, eh? Yeah, they're getting it, 2.8, and then 2.4 in Taiwan. So Taiwan. I love it. Baseball places, man. That's what's going on right there. All right, that's going to do it. Dodgers Digest, hit the subscribe button. Love to have you on board because we're going to continue to bring you this content all the way through the World Series and beyond. It's Dodgers Digest. I'm Brad J. And always remember to think blue.